Hopefully the weekend treated you well. You had a good time. I certainly did. I ended up watching The Boys on Amazon. I'm fucking amazed. Amazon actually made a show that's not complete and utter dog shit. That was somewhat accurate to the source material. I mean, they moved some things around, changed a few things up, expanded a few characters, but for the most part, it wasn't complete dog shit. It wasn't. What was the other fucking show that they do? Transparent. It was fairly good. I watched the whole fucking 8 episodes. Using babies as weapons, watching a guy get fucked in his gills. It's pretty good shit. I don't know. Anybody in chat check that out? Anybody watch The Boys? Did you watch Homelander fucking shit up? Yes, chat. Transparent. It's just an awful show. Yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2. I actually legitimately enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, and they've got a fuck ton more to cover. I mean, at the rate they're going, I'm gonna guess maybe 5 seasons, 6 seasons if they tried to cover it all. There's a lot to dig into. I just like the idea of a dark superhero. I like the idea of them being fuck ups. That's always been an interesting concept. And just, they haven't even got into the heavy shit yet. You got some people dying, some babies being injected, murders, some sexual assaults. Really tame stuff so far. They haven't even gotten to the Charles Xavier knockoff molesting children. I'm looking forward to that part. I want to watch Charles Xavier and his mutant academy, the G-Men in this case, just nothing but nonstop molestation. The balls on a motherfucker, by the way, to try to attempt that in a universe where there are superpowered preteens, and you're gonna try to molest them. You're lucky they didn't punch him through a wall. Oh, that's gonna be fascinating to watch. Good shit. Good, violent, wholesome entertainment. So that's what I spent my time on, watching that. It's good stuff. A lot of stuff going on lately. And we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And do a little Bitcoin coverage. Oh, today's the day. I believe today's the day that the New York Attorney General and Tether and Bitfinex are going to be having it out again. I look forward to seeing how that's going to affect the markets. And as all the Lambo dreams go up in smoke, and just poof, disappear like the value of people's TF2 inventories when Valve decided to put ultra rare, uncommon hats into drop boxes and made them implode and melt down screaming. Lots of fur fags, lots of fucking furries getting real upset about that. Oh, you can't devalue my hatscape. I've worked so hard on this. I've spent so much fucking good boy bucks on my inventory system. I wait for those loot drops to get my special shovel and then sell it for $80 on the exchange. And then I'm almost wondering if Newell just thought, hey, maybe this will be funny, or if he thought, hey, fuck it, fuck it, let's just screw the economy up. So when we drop TF3, people are ready. Fingers crossed. That's what I think is going to happen. You've got Team Fortress 3 coming, and he's killing the economy of Team Fortress 2 as preparation for that. We got to get them off of it. Make them stop doing this. Let's just fuck their economy up. So they buy the new game when it comes out, and then they can name their special batons and grenades and shit in that one instead. Who knows? Who knows where it's going to go? I see Chainlink is down. It's always down. Sergey never stops selling. 700,000 every day. I don't know why you're invested in it. I know the Link Marines are very dedicated to it, but he's gonna keep doing it. He's gonna do it all the way down to 10 cents a share, 10 cents a link, whatever. Same fucking thing. Bitcoin's down, everything's down, and the Tether thing's coming up. I'm looking forward to it. I want to see those screaming pink emojis. I find this shit so fascinating. I've been so just awestruck watching all of this. I have no money invested in it. I have no interest in ever taking part in it. But goddamn, I can't look away. The bipolar nature of it, how quickly it goes back and forth. All these people playing a market and hoping they're going to get rich in the short term. And then everything imploding because of it. I'm so fascinated by it. I'm actually looking up the stupid fucking term. I'm learning about stock markets just so I can shitpost about it better. I have no interest in putting money into this retarded fucking shit, but I want to know the terminology so I can be a bigger asshole when it goes south. That's my philosophy on it. Moving averages, the death cross, the golden cross, the candles, all that shit. Having to learn all this fucking stuff I'm never going to use. But just to be able to piss people off a little bit more makes it just a great use of time. Between that and the boys, it was an entertaining weekend. But we got a lot of stuff. Oh boy. I see Matt Jarbo, our boy, the Boulder King, Mr. Mundane, having a little bit of a tiff with Dick Masterson on Twitter. Not sure what set it off. Apparently, he did a live stream where he was talking with Maddox on Facebook. Now, Matt's a very brave boy. I don't know if you've ever had an argument with Mr. Jarbo, but he likes to lay down the law. So when you hurt his feelings and fuck him up and get him upset, he'll block you, and then he'll respond once you're blocked to make it look like he got that real sick burn in there that you couldn't recover from. You have your little back and forth. He blocks you and then responds to something, and you can't see it because you're blocked. Now all of a sudden everybody thinks, holy shit, the Boulder King laid the smackdown. Oh, things are getting gravelly up in here. In fact, let me pull up Matthews. Let me pull up his little Twitter account. Let's see what him and Dick were screaming at each other earlier this morning. Oh, everything just went tits up. Oh boy, I've been hacked. I made fun of Link too much, and they're coming after me now. Okay, I can't actually see I have to log in through a private browser because Matt has me blocked, which is understandable, I suppose. You know, the whole video thing I don't think went over very well with him. I think he's still a little bit sore about that. In fact, we can tell. I'll show you why he's really sore about it. Not been going well for Matthew. Not been going well for him all. He's lost an extraordinary amount of money. Let me just put it that way. In fact, I can give you an exact calculation of how much money Matt showing people that stupid screen cap and admitting to what he did. I can show you exactly how much money that actually cost him. It's pretty fascinating. A lot of fucking money. Mr. Matthew lost a lot of fucking money. Flagging people down because he didn't like what they had to say. I'll pull up his social blades too. We'll just pop through all of this. What is his alternate account's name? I think I'm almost 100. It's $3 Theater. Is that what it is? The secondary one that he's starting to try to use. Yeah, $3 Theater. There we go. Okay, I think I've got these lined up. I think we're good. So we'll start it off. We'll start it off with what I saw earlier because somebody had tagged me in when I was looking this morning. Pop that up. No, that's not right. Oh, wrong window. Oh boy, what are you doing, you old man? There we go. So, LA-based comedian, good friend of Dick Masterson, sort of like Mr. Anti-Bully's a good friend of mine, if you catch my drift. This is him and Matt going back and forth. I also, just pay attention to this. Imperfections, on the contrary, Jumbo Jarbo. I just don't want those wild hooters to get you in trouble. Free the nipple. Now, that's in response to him making fun of Matt. Matt's response to that was, considering your forehead is large enough to project an IMAX movie, you may not want to point that out to other people's imperfections. And then Matt immediately blocks him. Now, if you were watching this just from Matt's Twitter account, you would think, you wouldn't know that he blocked him. You'd only know that if you're paying attention to Dick's. So when Matt did his follow-up, I could lose my hooters, you can't fix that forehead. Well, it looks like Dick's not responding. He can't take the banter, right? Matt won that one. But no, he just decided to block him like a little bitch, throw out an insult, and then act like that was a victory. Now, why is Matt so upset? You know, I think if we look at his social blade, you'll start to understand why. Matt doesn't make a lot of money off his Patreon. I think he's got 30 patrons, like 30 or 40 patrons, so probably a couple $100, and that's being generous. I don't know what other outside revenue streams he would have, but I can show you what his YouTube looks like and explain why Matt is probably very mad. It's nothing but red. It's been nothing but red ever since his little adventures in flagging people. Like you can see, hopefully, is that showing up on screen? Yeah, you can see the complete drop off. Just a fucking dead end, and it just never recovered, never went positive after that. But here's the real story on YouTube, and this is generally what I understand to be the truth. If you have an okayish channel, you're not doing anything too extreme, your advertising revenue basically breaks down to about $3,000 per 1 million views. So if you're looking at Matt, all leading up until this devastating event, 2 million views, so around $6,000. 6K a month, that's pretty goddamn good money. But things start to go a little south. The algorithm changes. Matt's not really liking that, but he's still getting by. $3 grand a month isn't anything to sneeze at, and it seems to level out. Everything seems to be going fine until Matt decides to tell people he's a bit thin-skinned and likes to flag people. Oh, that money's dwindling. It's going from 1,500, roughly 1,000, 1,500, even less and less and less, to now 200,000 views. Well, I mean, that's a tenth. Well, I'm sorry, that's a fifth. I'm going off if he was still getting 2 million views. That's a fifth of what he would be getting. It's not a lot of money. And if you look at his other channel, his $3 theater, for a while there, it looked like things were going golden. I mean, he's almost reaching up to 1 million views. I mean, that's good ad revenue. But nope, that one's going down the toilet too. So between his multiple channels, he isn't even hitting 1 million views anymore per month. And again, this is a guy that was doing 2 million, almost 3 million views. I mean, he went out and he bought, I believe, a house. Probably didn't pay outright for it. Probably got a mortgage. And who knows what the financing on that was. He probably thought it was going to be good. He's going to be golden. He might have pulled a DSP. Oh, I'm going to be making $6,000 every month guaranteed. Look at it. I mean, it's been doing that for 2 years. But nope, right down the toilet. So it always amuses me when Matt gets upset at people on social media. I think a lot of that is motivated by the fact that his finances are devastated in this regard. And he's fighting fucking everybody in the replies. Just absolutely everybody. Anybody that says anything to him gets very upset. Now, why would he be having this big argument with Dick Masterson? I mean, aside from the fact that if he's talking to Maddox, obviously Masterson's going to make fun of him. It's probably because Dick's making almost $23,000 a month on Patreon. So, it worked out for Masterson. Post-Maddox split, everything worked out for him. He's got a popular show. He's got a big fan base, making a lot of money. Matt, on the other hand, hitched his wagon to Maddox. And Maddox show has been canceled. He canceled it himself. He shut it down. Shut that shit down. Doesn't exist anymore. No money coming in from that shit. On top of that, his ad revenue has fallen off the face of the earth, hiding in a cave like a terrorist after 9/11. No money coming in from Patreon. I'm not sure how many of those Boulder shirts that Matt sold, but I'm going to guess not very many. Dark days. Dark fucking days ahead. I know somebody had said that he was working a side job as like an Uber driver or something like that. That's going to be a full-time job. I think he's been locked out of the algorithm. Again, Matt's never really made content that is edgy. So it's not like he's getting boxed out because he's saying, saying horrendous things. He's pretty advertiser friendly as far as his video format goes. But he's been boxed out. Maybe that's I could speculate as to what exactly made the algorithm flip on Matt. Who knows? It changes every 6 to 8 months, it seems like. But he's on the negative end of it this time. And that, coupled with the fact that people think he's an asshole for what he did, I don't think there's any recovery. I don't think he can bounce back from this. I've seen channels die and come back, but usually there's a personality behind it that's so strong, it can draw those people back in. Because their content, the videos they make, the streams they do are funny or entertaining. They can actually draw the people back in after a fuck up. Matt doesn't really have that. He's very, very bland. He's very tasteless. If he was a food substance, you wouldn't know what was on the meal you were eating. So he doesn't have that draw to make them come back after all the Boulder shit and all the flaggings and all the shit-flinging fights and siding with somebody like a Maddox to pull that one out. So I guess it's just amusing to me to watch him and Masterson go at one another because Masterson probably finds it funny, whereas I have a feeling Matt doesn't. I'm going to guess he's probably real fucking ass pained about the way things have gone for the last... Actually, how many months has it been? This was back in... Holy shit. I actually don't believe it, but are we at the 1 year anniversary of this? Are we at the 1 year anniversary? It's been a year. It's been a year already. He's been dealing with the fallout of this shit for a year. I remember some smug motherfuckers when Matt did his big oopsie. Oh, they ran their mouth. Oh, yeah, he's not going to be that affected, Jim. He's going to be just fine. The view count's what matters. Oh, well, yeah, we're looking at his view count. Nothing but a steep decline, never ending down that slope. Never recovering the subs that just kind of splintered away and disappeared. A whole fucking year. How many views? How many views does that Mundane Matt video even have? Let me see what it's actually sitting at, because I don't really ever check this shit. That's one. Okay, I'm sorry. It gives me a good idea of the time scale too. Yeah, it's damn near a year. Start of August. Ballad of Mundane Matt, 1.2 million views. Oh my God, that has got to piss him off. In fact, what happens if we search his? Let's just I'm going to focus on Matt for a minute because now I'm interested. Let's try a Google search and see what happens when you search Mundane Matt. And then I'll do one. What is he going under now? Is he just doing his normal name like Matt Jarbo? Is that? I guess so. Oh, that's even worse. Jesus. Oh. Okay, let's take a look at what results you get when you search him up. In case you find somebody stumbles on his videos, they're like, "Oh my God, this guy, it's the best shit ever. I love his cold takes. I love this cookie cutter shit. Oh, he's like he's a blunted edge. There's no danger here. I feel comfortable. I feel calm. I'm snug under this blanket listening to Mr. Jarbo. Tell me about fucking CNN articles." All right, let's take a look. So if you look up Mundane Matt, this is the result you're going to be getting. It gives you his Twitter, which I don't think that's his fucking Twitter anymore. I think somebody stole the name from him. Goes right to his Ed thing. There's the ballad. Look. These are the 3 top videos that come up: the Ballad of Mundane Matt, the career suicide of Mundane Matt, and Mundane Matt sides with Vox. None of those are positive. Not a single fucking one of those is good. And if you look up Matt Jarbo, it's a little better, but it immediately goes to I think the abandoned Mundane Matt handle into some wiki. You get to ED by like the 5th or 6th result, but then it's nothing but Jarbo the Hutt and ear juice. It's a celebration of Matt Jarbo obituary from fucking December of last year. That stuck as the top recommended video for 8 fucking months. And then Jarbo the Hutt explains his software. And finally, The Last Jarbo, a character study of Mundane Matt and his antics. Oh, he is fucking toast. Yeah, there's no recovery from this, Matt. I don't know if you should be talking shit to Masterson, to be honest. I mean, Dick already went through his crucible, his breakup with Maddox, and he came out fine. Audience sided with him. He's an affable guy. People like him. I don't know why you decided you wanted to start shit with that, but that's probably a bad idea. Oh, fuck. I can't. Yeah, he's never gonna unfuck himself. There's no way to unfuck this. What's been fucked is not going to be unfucked for Mr. Matt. Oh, from the Ufio answer, did you make the Boulder King as sore as Brent Spiner's ass? I don't know if that's possible. Mr. Spiner's been getting fucked pretty hard. Gail put up a new video, actually, in regards to Brent Spiner and his wonderful asshole. Talking about, one thing I didn't get to cover yet is the fact that Gail is so committed to her love of Brent and fighting against his evil clones that she made a Twitter account for him. And she claims it's the real Brent Spiner. And they would talk back and forth and try to flag down the other Brent Spiner, the checkmarked one, the clone. They try to get that removed. Apparently, Jack and Twitter didn't like that. They took down the real Brent and left the imposter up. So Gail's very upset about that right now. My thoughts and prayers go out to her. Hopefully, the rest of the Star Trek community can pull together and fight these dastardly clones in Laurie McBride's evil anal raping empire. Really put a stop to it. It's terrible things. Now, yeah, somebody brought up Yaniv. Why don't we... I saw a video of Yaniv on Twitter acting insane. And it actually... This is what I meant by tangentially. So let me grab this really quick. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. Where they go into... Oh, I don't want to spoil it. I'll just play it. I'll play it for you, chat. And then I thought, when I was watching this, why don't we talk about crazy trannies? It reminds me of cultural Marxism assist story. And for whatever reason, with all the YouTube purges, that video still exists. Amazing. I thought we could watch that. Because that video, talking about batshit crazy trannies pushing into female spaces, went up like 6 years ago. Yaniv is a really good highlight of what happens when you become a little too progressive. And you put protections in place that let people abuse a system, and nobody can call them out because if you do, you're labeled a bigot. And they're really working that. So let's see. Here's the video. Pull this one up. It's from Dan Dix. This is Jessica Yaniv losing his mind after I introduced myself. Called 911, pulled a fire alarm, threatened to pepper spray me, then had his mom physically assault me. What sounds like a fun day at court.
This is a secure area. Get out. Get out.
This is a public space.
No, it's not. Get out.
Yeah, it is.
Get out or I will pepper spray you.
Excuse
Get
me?
out.
No, don't touch me, man. Don't touch me.
Go out now.
Hey,
Get out.
Don't touch
You
my
go
touch.
out. Out you go.
Get out.
She just pulled the fire out.
I did. I am on the phone.
Call
Get
the
in
police.
here.
Wow.
Get in here.
I'm not
Get in
scared.
here. Get in. Yeah.
So progressive.
Yeah, so aggressive, hey?
Progressive. Nicely done.
What a fucking shit show this entire debacle has turned out to be. Like, if you read the reports from people, the eyewitnesses reports from people that are actually at these hearings, this Human Rights Commission, whatever retarded gay Canadian shit it is, talking about just the goofy sideshow circus mentality shit that's going on in this place, where the mother is like screaming about my baby boy's gonna have a medical issue, calling ambulances, calling police, them threatening all these different women that are showing up, threatening different reporters, just acting fucking insane. It's a remarkable show. I mean, who saw that coming? The transsexuals might be a little, mentally unbalanced. God, I don't know. Luckily, I can speculate as to this. I'm not Canadian. I'm not going to get hauled off into a Human Rights Commission meeting and told to whack some fucking crazy dude's balls. I don't think the Chinese Lemon Emperor gives a shit if we talk about it over here, to be honest with you. I'm fairly certain he doesn't give two fucks. But yes, this reminded me of cultural Marxism assist story. So let me grab that. And let's take a look at it. It's been a while. It's a fucking great video. Everything about this video is perfection. I mean, well, I don't want to spoil it. Well, let me put this up full screen for everybody. Just to kind of talk about it. Oh, they're so loud. It's already so loud. I want to set the stage for you because you're going to be confused jumping right into this. And you're going to be wondering things like, why is that fat dude with huge tits walking around half naked wearing a superhero cape? Or why are all these butch dyke lesbians getting into a fight with some really prissy little latte drinking white boy. This is my understanding of it. So there were a group of women on this campus that had a problem with the trans community, pushing into their spaces, as they like to call it. The trans community got upset and kept referring to them as, what is the fucking term they use? TERFs? A trans exclusionary radical feminist or some shit like that. It's hard to keep up on the lingo. They always expand it. It's always some new fucking term with these people, and it's hard to keep track of them all. I know that one's been around for a while, but you get the point. Now, this was back in 2012, 2013. And the whole argument are these feminists, these women, are uncomfortable around trannies. They're uncomfortable saying that they're like physically and sexually intimidating and stalking and violent, and they want to do weird shit, and they're trying to push into their space. What we're seeing happening right now in Canada. When you see all these stories, or with the library story of all the kids that are getting brought in, and you've got fucking people dressed as women. Some of them are convicted pedophiles. Other weird, crazy shit happening. So this argument's been around for a while. I just like watching the left eat the left. I like watching these groups devour themselves. Because they knew what was coming. They had no excuse not to know what was coming. They set up all their pet minorities and all their special interest groups. And they've tried to make them, equality and equitability, right, between all of them. But that's never going to work. Because one crazy group is going to want to be stronger than the other crazy groups. And all these special protections and laws and campus dictates and all this other fucking retarded shit has set together a coliseum for our entertainment. And Yaniv is the most recent example of that. But Cultural Marxism is his story. That's an oldie but a goodie. So we'll watch that. And you can see that the more things change, the more they stay the same. Because this crazy, bizarre shit has just been going on for forever. Oh, I'm sorry. One last lemon chat. Thorkel, you damn bigots need to wax those female balls. Yeah, what happened to that slippery slope argument, folks? Weren't we all told that that wasn't real? Wasn't that the thing that everybody was assured? Oh, bake the cake, bigot. Now you're waxing people's nuts. You think it's going to end there, do you? You think it's going to stop there? Oh, the dictates of society, of a progressive, liberated, intelligent society telling its citizens that they need to get with the times or else. You'd better use those pronouns or you're going to prison. You'd better bake that cake. You'd better massage those nuts. You'd better not make any jokes. That's hate speech. Oh, it's pure lunacy. Now, usually as somebody who's, conservative, even if you're a centrist, I suppose, it's unnerving because you could be the victim of that. But remember, the bigger it gets, the bigger the shit that these people, put forward, the more special laws and bylaws that they put up. Eventually, it just focuses them on themselves, and it becomes a competition to see who's going to be king of Shit Mountain. So let's watch an old competition and find out who tried to be king of Shit Mountain this time. Oh, I don't want to jump ahead. Don't want to spoil it. What a very... you already know you're in for a treat. The video hasn't even started. And you've got three levels of blubber. Look at that. Look at those crevices. 3 levels of blubber, tits hanging out, and of course this person and their fucking skirt has a giant box of Crayola markers. Like, you can't make this shit up.
You're just dismissing my opinion. I don't like it even enough. Well, you heard it well enough to dismiss it, so... You're set. We're trying to... I'm shouting on...
So you've got the little, weak, liberal, white, effeminate male in his fucking fedora, trying his best to cosplay as Justin Timberlake, next to a obese thing that's wearing a superhero cape with a box of magic markers on their fucking belt, screeching at a couple of dykes who just want to be left the fuck alone because they're sick of dealing with these bizarre trannies and ultra progressives.
Not being able to hear us. I'm shouting over.
Like in every other
shouting
atmosphere that you have.
I just said, do you want to go actually have a conversation?
Yeah.
In a grandstand. Bring your friends.
It's not about
Let's go.
Have you given trans women with lettuce?
It kind of looks like Jim Sterling, if you've ever watched his videos, because he wears a bunch of costumes. Like, I could picture that's Jim Sterling. And this is an episode of the Jimquisition, where I don't know what game he'd be reviewing, to be honest with you. I don't know what game stars a bunch of transsexuals and bull dykes, but whatever it is, that's the game. And this is just the video that's been lost to time. People forgot about it.
I can't. I consider that harassment.
Yeah, no, let's not talk about that.
That's an unwanted sexual advance. That's actually sexual harassment.
You're sexually harassing me? By telling me that actually, let me just interject this right now. To tell you how insane it's gotten, this is, I believe, on a college campus. There's a story recently of a guy that's suing his ex-university. I don't believe he's a student there anymore. If he had any common sense, he sure as shit isn't. Where he was brought forward under, is it Title IX? About sexual assault on the campus grounds. Now, this poor son of a bitch meets a girl. Flirts with a girl, she flirts with him, they have sex, she likes it, he likes it, they continue to be friendly and cordial, until later on her friends give her shit over it, and she says, no, I was raped. He gets brought before the college's board of who you can put your dick into, or whatever the fuck they call it, and under a new rule, they find that he's guilty of sexual assault, and put him on a 1-year suspension. Now, this is how crazy it's gotten. This is the point you're at now. When he was brought before this committee and they told him, you're guilty of sexual assault, the sexual assault they found him guilty of, they said that he coerced her through cajoling her because he said she was pretty. He texted a woman and said, I think you're very beautiful. And they said that was cajoling, which is coercion, which is forcible sexual assault, and suspended him for a year. When his lawyer, who he did end up getting after this crazy shit happened, asked the college for another hearing because they couldn't find the terminology for cajoling or coercion like that in any of the laws or bylaws, the college held another meeting and they retroactively instituted it and then went back to the student and his lawyer and said, no, we've decided now after your trial that you're guilty of something that didn't exist at the time, and you're still suspended for a year, and we're not going to give you a second hearing. So now he's suing them. So when this little Justin Timberlake impersonator starts screeching about, well, you said something publicly to me just now when we're screaming at each other, and that's sexual harassment, like, you're under a gun. Like, you get that, right? Stick to community colleges. Don't go to the private universities or even the state colleges anymore. You're fucked. Anything and everything. You're going to have, this is how absurd it's become. This fat piece of whale shit walking around without a shirt on, identifying as a Zur, wearing a superhero cape with a box of magic markers, and their sidekick, Justin Timberlake. They run the show now. If you step out of line, if you say something, it doesn't even, you can say, how's the weather? And it's at a point now where they can say that's some form of sexual harassment and you're gone for a year. The only thing I guess that's different from when this video went up and now is that those two lesbians who were arguing with them, they'd be gone. They would be the ones that get kicked out of college.
That is what sexual harassment is. And let's look at the language you were using before. No.
Yeah, you just sexually harassed me, actually.
Why were you talking to the translator you want to talk to as opposed to this woman?
I would have, but then she turned to talk to someone else and I was talking to her. You and
She was trying to talk to you. You kept interrupting her. She does not have a space.
Oh my god, they're delusional.
Right now, she does not have valid spaces like you do in our community.
You know, I almost wonder, too, kind of watching this shit from the past and some of the things that are going on currently, if we're going to see some weird kind of alliance between right-wingers, conservatives, the alt-right, and actual feminists. I wonder if feminists are going to have to take a moment, step back, look around and say, holy shit, we kind of fucked ourselves. We can't go after transsexuals. We have to let them get away with anything. And the only people that are saying this is wrong are those patriarchal guys that we shit on for 2 decades. all those cis het white males that we like to rage on about, are the only ones saying we're not crazy when we tell them that having a dude in a dress makes us fucking freaked out.
To defend yourself. You do, and you're talking over her. I don't understand how you as a marginalized person can further marginalize somebody.
You marginalize someone by saying, look, everyone needs space sometimes. Sometimes you have space for other people.
You are invalidating the existence of women. No.
I know this might be, with all their buzzwords, a little hard to follow, but basically Fat Ass here is yelling at Bull Dyke. And Fat Ass is saying, okay, the lesbian's basically saying, we just want to be left alone. Can you just leave us alone? We just want to do shit together and be left alone. And the fat person is saying, no. By saying you don't want to hang out with us, all these trannies, by saying you don't want to hang out with trannies, you're invalidating womanhood. By telling the men in dresses that you don't want to have a slumber party with them, you're no different than the patriarchy.
That's what you're doing. You're sitting there saying that, like, you need space from trans women. Trans women shouldn't be excluded. They should be included.
Why is this?
So you're saying right now that trans women aren't women. That's what you're telling me. No, please answer that question. Answer that question right now.
You can't answer that question because
as women. Okay, no. There is.
is she such a
All right.
And that is the issue. It matters to females. This is not rocket science.
I have a vagina.
Yes,
I call myself a woman. I identify as a woman.
It's like, I have a vagina. I identify as a woman. I call myself a woman. And I walk around college campus and I answer to the name Fat Zorro. I don't wear a mask because I don't need a mask. Security cameras can't catch my visage because I'm so fucking ugly it breaks glass. So I just wear my black cape. I'm the obese Zorro walking around with my Crayola magic markers. I kind of like this just for the fact that, you know, as they would define it, cis-het white culture would look at feminists and say, God, they're kind of weird. And the feminists would get upset and say, no, we're not. Now eat our period brownies. And now here the feminists and these lesbians are sitting on a park bench as somebody dressed as a fat Zorro with fucking Crayola markers tells them that penises really are vaginas. Talk about getting a dose of your own fucking medicine.
I have sex with trans women. That's awesome. But, like, I don't understand why you have to impose on everybody else.
Imposing
why are you labeling trans women's bodies?
We're trying to push.
Are you? Oh my God. I have to regulate other women's bodies. I've seen your
I don't understand.
because you're saying that a woman's body is a female. She was born with certain organs. She is just as much a female with whatever organ she was born with.
Like, it means that
It means I'm not a female despite the vagina I have.
What exactly is absurd about
It means that
They're so offended. How could you say that a penis isn't a pretty trans vagina? You know, it's going to go from bake the cake bigot to wax my balls bigot to suck my trans pussy bigot. Like, the groundwork has already been laid. The groundwork exists. You're watching it. It's been festering for years. And it's going to be so bizarre watching, especially lesbians that are in women's groups and that are just a part of feminist movements, have to deal with this. Being told that you're actually a bigot because you won't suck a dick because that dick is actually a vagina. That is some next level shit, man.
my friend who has a penis who identifies as a woman is more female than I will ever be. Because guess what? She's a woman. Ergo, she's a woman.
I actually don't need to. I can actually say, fuck off, and I don't want to talk to you.
And that's fine. But that still
But
makes
you
you a
invited
bigot
me
and
to come have a
asshole.
conversation with you.
to come have a conversation.
You also invited me to have a conversation. Either your memory is very, very bad,
Okay,
or
well, time out. One diva, one mic for one moment, okay? One diva, one mic for 1 moment.
Oh, God, if I was the dyke, I'd punch her. I'd punch her when she said one diva, one mic. Listen, fat ass, you're not a diva. You don't come close to the definition of what a diva is. You are wearing fake pearls a Zorro cape, a fucking she killed a bird, dyed it red, and glued it to her head, and Crayola magic markers. That's not a diva look. That's a crazy meth head homeless person look. You look like you should be living in a box behind a Costco, not snapping your fingers in a sassy manner up on stage with Beyonce.
So, no problem.
Bring it down a little.
I have no problem talking and trying to open up dialogue, especially as a trans ally. I have no problem doing that, but the problem is that every time somebody's trying to talk to you, you immediately start interrupting us. You're doing it right now!
Oh my God.
Right now!
She's
Right
a
now.
loser.
You see how crazy this is? There's like a group of 20 of them. There's one lesbian, like one or two lesbians sitting on a park bench, surrounded by these fucking freaks, screaming at them, saying, you need to accept us. And every time the lesbian, I feel bad for them. Every time the lesbian tries to say, will you leave us the fuck alone? They get chastised and yelled at.
Hello.
You realize, just I want you to get this, that again, you guys can't be hurt to talk. Don't, don't pretend. Don't pretend that it was like that's bullshit. And all these women saw that. This is what is happening in our community. People want to talk without having like adversarial tones like that. And we have a right to not listen to that shit. We have a right not to be told to fucking die in a fire, not to be told to like go put a gun in your fucking.
Do you know how many trans women are killed every day?
Do you know how many fucking females are killed every day?
Oh my God!
They are females.
What do you think? Trans women are females.
Trans women are not
Yes,
females.
go back to your like second wave feminism in the like find your
You go fucking back to magical unicorn land. That's not gonna answer the fucking question.
I'm making strides.
Go back to magical unicorn land. And she got offended by that. What do you mean? I'm not crazy. I don't live in a fantasy land. Do you see my cape and the dead bird on my head? I'm perfectly sane and rational. Just because you have a giant throbbing penis doesn't mean you're not a pretty little girl. You could see, look at the frustration. Look at the frustration that they don't know how to deal with this. This monster that's been unleashed on them all. They don't know how to counter it.
I have a conversation with you.
You're just insulting me.
Don't you understand? You know that you invalidate a woman's womanness. You're making a barrier. Yes, you are. The minute you say trans women are not female, you're invalidating
Trans women are not female. No, they are not fucking female. It is not a big deal that they're not female.
What you're invalidating the existence of trans women as women. That is your
Gender. Women is gender. Female is sex. It's not complicated.
You need to get your business out of what is engaged.
You need to fuck off because lesbians like female.
I'm not a lesbian, I'm queer.
Yeah, no shit. This is the fucking point. This is.
I'm not. What did that even mean? What did Blubber mean when she said, "I'm not a lesbian. I'm queer"? What? Okay. What are you fucking frying pans? You got a jar of peanut butter for the dogs in the neighborhood? What are you talking about? I'm not a lesbian. I'm queer. Oh, you got him. Laying down the banter. The thunder came right out of your fat fucking ass cheeks and vanquished. You brapped her to death. Good going.
The point, yes! This is my point! We are not queer, we are lesbians!
That's fine, but there are queer people that go to a Michigan Women's Festival and you put all
I mean, I'm a lesbian. I was told that this conversation is invalid because she's not lesbian. Do you want to talk to a lesbian?
You know, the other thing I want to bring up too as we watch this, and I do think it's really important when you're listening to this kind of crazy babbling bullshit, is one of the arguments they're having, one of the overarching arguments of this entire video, is about, they're saying you're excluding and invalidating trans women by not letting them into women's events, women's counseling for sexual abuse, and you're not letting them into women's shelters. Okay, that's the thing they're upset about, because trans women are women. Have you noticed a trend lately, over the last, I'd say 2 to 3 years, of all these female athletes in high school and college getting really fucked up over the fact that the scholarships they used to get and the placements and awards and accolades they used to get for being the fastest female or being the best at whatever sport or activity they were in have been taken from them, as more and more men that identify as women join the track team, join the wrestling team, join the volleyball team, join the baseball team, and usurp their place in their sport that was segregated because we understand men and women can't compete. There are physiological differences, bone structure, muscle density, fucking hormones, all of that. There's a reason they're segregated. But all those female athletes who I'm sure 5 years ago were like, no, you don't understand. Trans women are now reaping what they've sown. They're losing all their spots on these teams. They're losing all their scholarships and all their money and all their accolades. When you look at Yaniv, whatever. When you look at what they're doing, making people wax their balls, do you really think it's going to stop there? It's going to keep being pushed. And it's going to be pushed into more personal spaces. Gynecology offices. Yaniv wanted to do an all children's swim fest where they went topless, which is creepy as fuck. But what are these women going to do when there's some domestic abuse shelter or some rape shelter specifically designed for women that actually have gone through that, and some dude with a beard and a dress who's 6'5" and 300 pounds decides they want to hang out there because somebody, misgendered them on a college campus? Imagine how nerve-wracking that would be. You just get brutally raped and beaten. You flee to some shelter hoping that you can find safety there, and you're greeted by a bunch of weird men in dresses that want to go on a swim trip with your children topless, but you're not allowed to go. I love this slippery slope argument that it doesn't exist, that people won't keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, that they won't try to take more, that they won't make it more weird and more uncomfortable and more progressive, because we're finally watching the end result of it. We're watching the end result. What was that kid? Desmond is amazing. Oh my God, he's a drag queen. That's super sassy. And what's already happening with that? He's dancing for men on fucking stripper stages and having money put in his fucking underwear. They're actual open pedophiles, basically jacking off about this kid, talking about how sexy he is. It's just weird. And it keeps getting pushed to more and more extreme levels of fucking uncomfortable. And these nutcases run the asylum. You look at Canada, they've fucking codified it in law. I mean, so far in the U.S., you're dealing with maybe one or two regional laws about pronouns, and then the college campuses have lost their minds. But wait till the legal system catches up. Oh, it's going to be a nightmare.
Because I'll just say the exact same things this person is saying. So, Senya,
You had a vote. You had a vote. That's my fucking law.
So I'm sorry. Was there some question as to whether this woman's opinion is valid? Because you're saying that this woman's opinion is invalid because she's not a lesbian.
Yeah, it is.
Right here. So if you're gonna talk to me,
I
you should talk to me.
don't need to talk to you.
Well, you invited me to have a conversation.
No, I invited her, and we were
Again, we go into the whole thing about how you actually did invite me to have.
This poor lesbian, just telling fucking Timberlake here to fuck off. Like, go away. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the fat ass in the Zorro cape. You can go suck a dick through a glory hole or whatever it is you do on a Tuesday. I want to talk to Fatty instead. But see, that's what I'm talking about. They're so pushy. They're so fucking pushy. They won't stop. This is a great little microcosm of the bigger issue. Like, they just push up, surround the person, and dictate what they want to say. And every response is, you're wrong, you need to educate yourself, you're a bigot, you're phobic, you have issues. And they just get bombarded and fed this shit nonstop.
What would you like to say?
I'm curious. You were calling this woman's opinion into question because
She's entitled to her opinion.
Well, but you were saying that because she's queer and not a lesbian, in her opinion isn't valid.
No, I was
so
saying
I'm a lesbian. Would you like to have the same conversation with me?
we are different.
I'm a lesbian. Justin Timberlake's a lesbian, everyone. I'm a lesbian with my penis. What? Sometimes I wonder if, I'm 50-50 on it. Sometimes I wonder if, a couple of fraternities got together in the 90s and they're like, how can we fuck lesbians? Like, dude, how can we nail lesbian chicks and get away with it? And not just get away with it, but make them want to do it, because they'll feel bad if they don't. Like, if it was just a couple of fraternities that came up with this crazy shit to get laid and to fuck a couple of cute lesbians, and it spiraled out of control, and now nobody can stop this monster from continuing onwards. People are fucking insane.
As I was like lesbian and she's like queer, and I'm like, this is part of the issue.
Okay, I'm a lesbian. Would you like to
I
eliminate
don't
this
know
issue?
you. What would you like me to
You don't know this person.
I don't know her either. What do you want to say?
I don't know. I'm kind of wondering what you were invalidating about her opinion because she's not a lesbian.
Her opinion?
Yeah.
I just said you're queer. I'm a lesbian.
And you said that's it. Like that's the answer.
And
And it's not the
it is the fucking answer.
You are validating people within our community, whether you think so or not.
What does that matter, by the way? I hear this all the time. You're invalidating my identity, my opinion. So what? Okay, you've been invalidated. Deal with it. What are you going to do? You're going to go find somebody to validate it? That's like the period at the end of every statement for these fuckers. You're invalidating. Okay, and? Is there a follow-up to that? Do you need to be validated? Is that some amendment on the Constitution I'm fucking forgetting? That everybody needs to be validated with the crazy shit they believe?
I validated people within our community.
I have not.
You have validity within our community,
Please tell me how I'm
regardless.
invalidating anybody in our community. Hey. I'm asking you to tell me how I am invalidating her. Yes, I am. Because you're telling me that I'm doing it, and you can't back up what the fuck you're talking about.
Are you insane? We can all
I'm not insane. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm confronting you because you're ignorant about everything. Yeah. No.
I just want your side of the argument over.
Because of systems like this, trans women are getting killed. Every single fucking killed. By who?
This is the point. I don't think trans women are men. Do you understand?
But as a cisgender woman, look, first of all.
Sis. Fuck your sis.
What the hell?
Wait. So you're trying to remove language from the conversation.
I don't know what
To eliminate our. I'm sorry. I'm talking to this woman. Since apparently talking to people doesn't actually validate addressing. You're actually not allowed to talk to me. Apparently.
What did America do? Like, where did we fuck up? How did our children turn into this? How did this argument even come about? Was it PC culture? Was it everybody getting a participation award? There's no shame anymore. There's no embarrassment anymore. This effeminate little fucker sitting here in his gay little outfit, just arguing all day long with his interpersonal communication language that he learned in a 101 class. Just harping on it. Oh, invalidation, cis, het, all this shit. When did children become this? I mean, I hope progressives out there understand that generally, it's not always, but generally, every generation opposes the generation that came before it. It's that rebellious streak. It's just part of human nature. I mean, there are multiple models talking about how it's cyclical with 4 different generations interspersed, but more or less, all these people that are growing up and acting like this, their children, not even really Gen Z, but the next group, I don't know what they're going to be. I almost think they're going to be straight up hard, like real Nazis. Like, they're going to look at this and their parents, and they're going to become actual Nazis. Like, that's the only way they're going to be able to rebel against it. Because it's so cartoonish and absurd. How do you rebel? You have to become the most authoritarian, state-loving, discipline-loving sort of individual that you could become. They've created a time bomb, and they're sitting right on top of it, and they don't realize it. And it's remarkable to me.
Because I'm talking to this person. Or are we going to get rid of that and make all that
out here.
I'm talking to you, and according to your logic, that means she can't talk to me. So,
What are you saying?
yeah, well, I'm basically using your same tactics. Because when I was talking to you about things that this person was saying, you said I wasn't allowed to talk to you because I hadn't talked to you before. I'm not talking to this woman. Therefore, according to your logic, I don't have to listen to
I said
her.
you were being an asshole, and I actually
No, you
don't
didn't
have
actually
to.
say that.
Well,
Now you're saying.
You're being an asshole. So I don't
What
need
is
to
it
talk
exactly
to
about
you.
what I'm doing that's being an asshole?
Are you kidding?
This dude's tactics It's like a little kid that walks up to you and says, and they put their finger like a millimeter from your fucking eyeball, and then they just keep taunting, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you. I'm not being an asshole. Yeah, you kind of are. It's pretty clear the lesbian just doesn't want to talk to any of you. I don't blame her. And you just won't fuck off. I think at this point she's told him like maybe 10 times, I don't want to talk to you. I'm not interested in talking to you. But the power dynamic here is so flipped. It's so crazy. They can't get away. There's nothing to get away. There's nowhere to run. If they try to go to their women's only lesbian group, fucking Zorro here is going to follow them.
You know what you're doing to be an asshole? You're like
I'm actually not kidding. I'd
hate
like you
against
to
trans
actually
people.
explain what you're saying. Really so hard for you to actually explain what you're saying?
Is it just a hard for you to be
It's just like the bulletin boards. Like you're not. No one is hearing each other.
If it was a bulletin board, we would be filming. You're the one filming right now.
No, actually,
Well, okay, somebody's filming now, but this one's it's totally fine.
Because I'm pretty sure we share the word asshole in our vocabulary. The fact that you're having difficulty explaining why I'm an asshole makes me kind of doubt your
Yeah, we're done. We're done, right? Like we're done.
okay. I still exist though.
Can you logically explain to me in a rational way, citing Wikipedia, why I'm a giant cocksucking faggot? Like, if you can't do that, then I'm just not going to accept your definition of this insult. And I'm going to sit here and talk to you about how trans penises are the prettiest vaginas on this college campus, and you need to suck them. All right, when I say eat pussy, what I mean is suck dick. So obnoxious.
And I will
I know, I understand that you exist, but you are telling us that trans women don't exist.
I'm actually not telling you anything.
No, but you are.
I met you right now in a very aggressive fashion. You approached me, which I was expecting. What would you like to say?
The same thing I just said, that you're still avoiding and evading.
What
What is it exactly about what I'm doing that's being asked? Because I'm pretty sure I'm following the same. You're interrupting me. I'm sorry, I'm talking right now.
Did she ask me a question?
You're not allowed to interrupt.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, were you trying to misgender me?
Not intentionally.
Oh, really?
No.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You see the smile that came across Justin Timberlake's face? They understand. It's, again, I keep going back to like playground mentalities. Like, these are the faggots that would do something obnoxious and then run to teacher first to get you in trouble. Like, she's straight up telling him, you're just a dick. Like, you're an asshole. I don't like you as a person. You're just a massive cunt. And he's waiting and waiting and waiting. And then says, are you trying to misgender me? And the instant he said that, look at this. Because he knows. He knows that now that's a gotcha in this environment. Look at this smile spread on their face when they say that.
You're trying to misgender me?
Not intentionally.
Oh, really?
No.
You see that? That giant smirk? That I'm in control here now shit?
Really?
We all do it.
I have a question.
Maybe we should like grow the fuck up and get in the 21st century and learn that people use different pronouns.
Can you tell me what I am?
I don't fucking know. Maybe for
you
your
have opinions on what I am.
environment you should do that.
I think I thought you were
I feel like this is like having the conversation.
What preferred gender pronouns?
But if we were actually talking
We should just go because like nothing is happening.
But what you've done online
You
in other
interrupted Ida, and
forums
I was
makes
defending
you
Ida.
not respectful towards us automatically.
And I am
Your
doing
presence in this space
not
is
because-
aggressive
not
because you are in an
because-
inclusive
not-
space,
and
you have worked tirelessly towards exclusion.
No, that is actually.
You need
do
to
you want to
check
know
yourself.
You need to check your fucking privilege, Baldyke. I, Justin Timberlake, with the prettiest little girl penis, am here to check that fucking privilege.
Okay,
You
I'll
need
do
to
that.
check your fucking cis
I will
privilege.
do that.
Just fucking nailed him with it. Check it. Educate yourself, shitlord.
I will check.
It's fine. It's fine. You know what? 20 years from now. 20 years from now.
But she's gonna think
She will be one
21. Yeah.
No, not that you'll be. I didn't say that.
Because shit will still be bad for females, and no one will give a fucking shit about
fucking
it.
please.
Right? Really? Yes, really. Do you not know?
You are really
For someone who knows what females are,
Do
you're going to be having a really hard
realize
time
what?
determining what I am.
I mean, I'm sure you're like a very politically minded person. You know what marginalization means, right?
Oh, what does it mean? Well, you're doing it
So
to
you
people.
were in the middle of
And
trying
yeah,
to
you're
make an
telling
answer
us
to
that
me.
that people are marginalizing you. Like, that's fucked up. That's like saying that somebody's robbing your house. I understand that, and we should have solidarity about that. But you shouldn't exclude trans women.
You do realize that this conversation became necessary when when females respectfully said, this legislation is stepping on our petticoat a little bit, and this is what we would suggest.
I think the word you're looking for is cisgender.
When we did that, we were threatened with death. We were told we were bigots. We were told
Because
we
you
were
are.
Nazis. Well, then how? Okay, then
We've called you out on it, and you've done nothing about it.
back the fuck off with this like magical. Oh, we need to have a conversation. You don't want to have a
No, I do want to have a
You don't
conversation.
wanna have
I was
a
having a conversation. I was interested in having a conversation.
You would like to tell us, suck my dick. That's
Nailed it. I mean, that's an accurate fucking assessment. I really hope all these lesbians and all these women's groups that have dealt with this crazy shit on college campuses, that have seen it firsthand how these people operate and how they're invasive and just force their way in and just bulldoze over, and all the concerns they have when they're talking about, it makes us uncomfortable. You're making us uncomfortable. Could you just stop? I hope they understand that when those evil, terrible Republicans and conservatives and alt-right people say, it's kind of weird that somebody like Yaniv wants to have a topless swimming meetup with children. It's kind of weird that we're letting pedophiles in dresses into libraries with children. Maybe we have some concerns about invasiveness into safe spaces, for kids. Maybe this group that's been causing issues for you is causing issues for everyone. And you've unleashed it. You created this monster. Your inclusivity mindedness, your nothing but progressiveness mindedness has created a monster you cannot control anymore. You can't reel it back in. Maybe we're not the bad guys. Maybe those are genuine concerns we have and you have as well. And maybe you should be standing on this side of the argument with us.
what you would like. We don't want to do that. We are not interested in that.
No, okay, I'm sorry. Trans women are
asking you or
creeping
told
on
you
your
that.
territory. Trans women don't want to date you because you're too fucking ignorant.
Nobody wants. No trans woman wants to date you. I don't want to date you. She doesn't want to date you.
No trans
You're a fucking
woman.
lunatic.
Because
Nobody
this
wants
is
to
about
date you.
Why the fuck would
It's not about women's rights. It's about dating.
I'm gonna go because I have so much rage right now. I was having a conversation until
Oh, they're such attention whores, too. This kind of person is such a massive fucking attention whore. I have so much rage right now. That's why I don't sound angry. All eyes on me. Everybody look at me. I'm the center of everything that exists. In my Zorro cape with my fat tits hanging to my knees, and my Crayola magic markers, and the dead bird on my head. I need to be grandiose in everything I do. I need to pantomime my arms out to the fucking sky like I'm calling down Jesus. So all eyes are on me. Me, 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 me. I have so much rage. I'm just so upset. Oh my God. Have you considered how upset Zorro is?
person disrespected Ida. That's fine. Okay. I was trying to talk to you, you kept interrupting Ida.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you do.
She's delusional. She's asking questions, answering her own questions, and then yelling on top of
All right,
it.
so
Confrontation makes you uncomfortable, right?
No, not at all. Person number one talked to me, and then you started, and then you. I'm actually a human being with human limitations, and I can actually have 5 conversations at once and give them all the attention I want to
And
give
you'll grab your
them.
mouth and expect no repercussions.
No, I'm not
I need to know because I'm physically shaking, and if I don't go, I might actually physically lash out.
Oh, nice.
All right, yes. What would you like to say?
Wait, I'm sorry. You're just deciding that I have something to say to you?
Yeah, I have been saying that
Well,
for
but
the
you're
last
not listening.
Oh, like I said, it's the kid in school. These people are the kids in school that would do something and everybody would say, you can't do that. You're acting like an asshole. And then immediately to get out of trouble, they'd run to teacher first and make something up to get you in trouble. This asshole has been screaming at her for like, what are we, 13 minutes now? Forcing his way into a conversation. In which he finally says, what the fuck do you want? He's like, you think I want to talk to you? Who said I want to talk to you? Like, motherfucker, you're standing in front of her. You've been standing there for over 10 minutes, yelling at her. Obviously you want to say something. You attention whore.
Listening to what I have to say.
You never said anything.
To what
You keep talking
I'm sorry,
about
I'm
talking.
talking right now, so I'm talking to this person. According to your logic, that means you're not allowed to talk to me. So, would you,
Anyway,
would you
my
actually
conversation is over. Like,
you're not even listening.
Sounds like a broken record.
You're not even listening to me. How can we have a conversation?
Sam Hyde was right. Early and often. This guy's attitude could have been corrected so easily if he had been bullied early and often.
They're not even fucking listening.
Okay, what would you like to point out to me?
I've already pointed out quite a few things to you. You haven't answered any of them.
Well, let me say that you've been very aggressive with me. You've been very
You're stepping in my
hostile to me.
personal space.
You have been in my personal space.
You sexually harassed me, actually.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you did. You invited me to sit on your lap.
I was
unwanted,
making fun
and
of you because you're a giant asshole.
I'm sorry. Wait.
Okay?
You sexually harassed me, and now you're saying I'm a giant asshole.
Yes, I'm saying you're a giant asshole. It's a giant asshole.
What is it exactly that I'm doing that's being...
Like, I'm just amazed. Take a hint. Nobody likes you. Timberlake, you're a fucking dick. Nobody likes you. Don't pretend you don't get that. You get it. You just can't. He can't cope with it. He cannot cope with the fact that nobody likes his stupid fedora-wearing ass.
being a giant asshole.
What you're doing right
failing
now is
to, you have failed so far to explain this.
Is you coming up and being
My body language is being a giant asshole?
You're not saying anything. What do you want to say?
Yeah, what would you like to say? Yeah. I'm going to put that aside.
What problem exactly do you have with accepting all females as females? What problem do you have with a word cis that has been come up with specifically to describe your body type?
Who the fuck are you to describe my body type? I have a fucking word for that. It's female. Give me
I have a word for my body type and everyone else around here's body type. It's also female.
Well, good for
it's
you.
necessary
We disagree
to create a
on the
linguistic distinction between some people's bodies and other people's bodies. Specifically because you have a problem with some people's bodies. It is your problem with these people's bodies. Let me finish my goddamn motherfucking sentence.
No, I'm not.
You interrupt me constantly.
That is his first sentence.
You are showing no respect for anybody else's opinions because you constantly interrupt them.
You constantly come to women and tell them they are bigots for recognizing that female and male are different. That is gaslighting.
Female and male are different. However, you keep coming up with this bullshit. The designation of other people's bodies is not female.
I don't know your body. I don't know you.
I'm not talking about my body.
I
never mentioned my body. I actually asked you to try to define my body, and you seemed unable to give an answer.
I don't actually give a shit about you as a person.
Oh, that's
I don't know you.
Oh, well, here's the thing, champ. I'm not interested in defining what magical term you've come up with for your penis and trying to explain why your penis isn't a penis. I just think you're a massive fucking asshole. And I want to see you get hit by a bus. That's where we're at right now. I want to see a tractor run over you. But I want it to be an old tractor so it takes a long time. So like that big fucking wheel that weighs like a ton. Just can't quite make it. And it squirts out your intestines from your asshole in your mouth like a tube of toothpaste that you slam against the bathroom sink. That's where we're sitting at, champ. Mr. Fedora. I want to see your body desecrated.
That's all I know of you. That, because of my female socialization, does not make me feel safe around you. Makes me think you're a predator. Makes me think you're kind of a prick.
It actually has nothing to do with your female socialization.
It doesn't?
Because plenty of people here without female socialization
Are you telling me
think that
what
you
my
are a
experience
predator.
is? Are you telling me what now you're invalidating my experience, right?
No.
Telling you what her experience is.
Right? I think you kind of, no, I just said what my experience, and she's saying no.
You're labeling that experience as female socialization, therefore distinguishing it
You're saying my
from other
labels
people's
are-
socialization. Would you let me finish my goddamn sentence?
No.
Would you let me finish my
No,
goddamn
I will
sentence?
not.
You intend to show no respect.
How do you think he'd react to a punch? Like if somebody just walked up to him and just whistled, and when he turned around, just fucking hauled off and knocked him on his ass. Would that be the most triggering thing to ever happen? Would he shatter like glass? Just, what would that do to his attitude? Do you think he'd run up to lesbians screaming at them about his female penis after getting laid on the floor? Do you think that would solve the issue? I'm asking questions.
Not for you. I think you're kind of an asshole. I'm done talking to you.
Okay, so you're just gonna silence me like that. Say the
you
word.
can go talk
Just say
over there.
I'm silencing
I don't
you,
actually
and I'll
have to
stop.
listen to you.
If you say I'm
silencing
silencing you, thank you
Yes,
very
it's
much.
just that.
Except
Does it
you're
work?
not actually part of this conversation because
I
of your
thought
distinction.
maybe I had a magic wand like she does. Say it, see if it works.
No,
I'm silencing
I
you.
refuse to.
You refuse to
accede
admit what you're
your
doing, what it is you're actually
So
doing.
you won't answer for things such as posting the names, birth names of women on your website, as well as photos of them taken years ago, in addition to their current names and a current photo, which is in fact opening these women up to violent repercussions, which you have done on your site several times. And do you have absolutely no at all reason to understand why putting people who are at risk of bodily harm?
The dyke fucked up. She's got Fat Wonder Woman. Fat Wonder Woman and Fat Zorro. It's like an obese Justice League has shown up to teach this lesbian a lesson. It's amazing to me. They really like their pop culture, don't they?
Injury. It's something that might incite anger in others. Do you not understand why we react to a person who would do that?
Do you not understand why we feel it necessary to defend ourselves when we create our space and we say, please respect the space, and it is continually disrespected. It is continually disrespected. We are told, no, your experience is wrong. No, your understanding of female biology is invalid. No, lesbians, that's not a cock, that's a trans clit. You should enjoy that, and if you don't, you're a bigot. This stuff is toxic to females.
Can you go back to the days where you had to get answered? How you're posting the birth name as well as current name and photos of these women and their
Wonder Woman. We
That doesn't be a Wonder Girl shirt, by the way.
are in crisis in this community. I get calls from hundreds of young lesbians saying, please fucking help us because I don't want to transition when I grow up. I just want to be a fucking dyke. But all my friends are like, this is what we have to do now. And I'm like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? And they're like, no. Okay, you can say it. Well, you guys live in New York City, so no, I live in you can't.
I grew up in Colorado Springs and I was never.
You're in academia. Academics are the fucking problem.
Excuse me, I grew up in.
Did the lesbian feminist who creates women's safe spaces just say that academics are the problem? Did I hear that right?
Colorado Springs, and I didn't experience any of that. So.
I just no, because they're threatening people. They're stalking people in real life. Some of them, yes. I know you think that like there's like this innocence factor and this guilt factor, and it's not the case. It's actually not the case. Go over there and get that. I know that was it's anti-intellectual to say. Wait a minute. Oh, Judith Butler. Judith Butler. This is so fucking racist. This is so fucking elitist. This is such elitist.
Oh, there you go, chat. That's a little blast from the past, showing that it festered on college campuses and now has exploded after having an incubation period of about half a decade out into general society. Now I've got people demanding you wax their balls, holding story time for the tots at the library, beating up Ben Shapiro on television. Actually, let me pull that clip up. That's a good little clip, actually. Give me 1 second, chat. If I could find... Oh, where is that? Where is... Okay, I think I got it.
Good try.
Okay, I think I got it. This one... I forgot Ben Shapiro got manhandled.
Good try.
By a fucking dude. Oh, let me see if I can find the exact time code on this ridiculous shit. Okay, I found it. Let's watch let's watch little Ben Shapiro, all 4'2" of him, get manhandled by Caitlyn Jenner.
Gender identity. Go ahead. No, so
especially, but even so, you have a thing like Klinefelter's syndrome. So you don't know what you're talking about. You're not educated on genetics.
Would you actually discuss the genetics? Or
well, no,
what
no.
are your genetics?
So I'd stay away from the genetics and back to the brain scans.
You cut that out now, or you'll go home in an ambulance.
Yeah, that seems mildly inappropriate for a political discussion.
No, I know. Well, but wait, to be fair,
I'm going to send you home in a body bag. You know, like, isn't that what the lesbian was saying on that college campus 6 years ago? Is you people insert yourselves and then you threaten us when we tell you to fuck off? It sounds exactly like what they were saying. Sounds exactly like what they were saying was the problem with this particular group of people. In fact, where was the... Oh, I know what it is. Here we go.
We're not doing...
Here we go. Here's another more recent example of just the absurdity of this retarded shit. Let's put this one up.
We're not doing...
This is a recent one. I'm sure you've all seen it. It's been out there for a while. We got a few of these. They're fun. Let's watch.
You're gonna give me my fucking money back.
Excuse me, sir. There's a young man in here.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
No, I don't think so, caveman. Not with a forehead and a brow that size. You don't... Oh... Do any of these, what, there's a term for it. Trans-trender, is that it? Do any of these dudes that are like 30 years old and built like a brick house realize that they don't pass in the first place? And, you know, in another 10 to 20 years, they're going to look like a fat old man in a dress. And nobody's going to think ma'am when they look at you. This motherfucker looks like they should be playing varsity football.
Call the police if you'd like me to. You need to settle down.
You need to settle down and mind your business, okay? Ma'am, once again, ma'am.
I said both of you.
No, you said sir. Once again, it's ma'am.
I actually said both of you guys. It was general.
Right beforehand, you fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Motherfucker, take it outside.
I love it. I kind of hope he intentionally did that.
You fucking said sir.
Sir? Okay.
Don't you call me sir. Sir, please calm down. Don't you fucking call me sir. Mister, I'm sorry. If you call me sir one more time, I'm going to bring an axe to this place. Listen, guy. Buddy, dude.
Motherfucker, take it outside. If you want to call me sir again, I will show you a fucking sir.
I apologize.
Motherfucker.
I apologize now.
See, more violent outbursts. Lesbians saying that happens. Ben Shapiro getting grabbed by his neck. This person just destroying property because they think that's their right to do. Because they're upset they don't look like a woman and nobody buys their bullshit.
I need your corporate number. Because I'm going to call them and talk about how it's misgendered several times in this store.
I apologize for that.
I need your corporate number now.
I can get that for you. It's not a problem.
Get it for me now.
I can do that. I'm going to ask you to calm down and stop cussing.
Give me your corporate number. Well, I'm going to ask you for the 5th time to stop calling me a man. Because quite clearly I am not.
And I apologize. I'm sorry for that, ma'am. I will get you that number. Is that okay?
Yes, get it for me now.
I'm asking you to stop
Get it
cussing.
for me now. I'm not cussing. I'm not cussing.
Okay.
Get me the damn number now, please. Ooh!
He actually ooks like an ape when he slips in another sir. I love it.
Get me the damn number now, please. Ooh!
Ooh! Don't go mad!
Ma'am, I apologize.
Ooh!
I apologize, ma'am. I will get you that number right now.
No, you're just going to keep bumping your gums. You're just going to keep bumping your gums and disrespecting trans people in this store, which I plan on telling the entire LGBTQ community. You're going to lose money over this.
It's fucking GameStop. Can they lose money when they make zero in the first place? Is GameStop even making money to lose? I'm pretty sure this guy's sitting pretty. I don't think he's got anything to worry about.
Seriously, I haven't.
Just remarkable. Ooh. Ooks like an ape. Gets so angry, he can't even form words. Can't even form words, they got so mad. Ooga booga. Ooga booga, I'm a woman. No, I don't think you are. And evening sequence. Yaniv explains that he has a vulva, dick, and balls. Oh, got the whole package, so to speak. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet of disgusting. Amazing. So it's not just wax my balls, it's just wax this train wreck I call my genitals. You get down there and you like it. I want you to savor that flavor. Oh, it's fucking Clown World. It really is. It really, really is Clown World. It's remarkable watching it just finally come back and bite them. Oh, there was another one too. Let me see if I can find this one. This one's interesting as well. Oh, okay, let me see. Okay, I think I got it.
We don't want to fucking...
Oh, yeah, here we go. This one's a twofer, chat. This is a 2-for-1. I hope you're ready. It's an Antifa tranny fighting a black man. It's really hitting all the highlights.
We don't want to fucking...
All right, let me get this set up. You know, this kind of turned into a tranny cast, but whatever. Let's watch.
We don't want to fucking hear from you. Get the fuck away from us. We don't want to fucking hear from you. We got nothing to fucking say to you. Get the fuck away from our
Get out of his face.
We don't want anything to do with you. You're a fucking spash. We don't fucking need you here.
I am a beautiful girl. That's why I look like an autistic 20-year-old man with a ponytail. You will address me as she. That is my proper pronoun. You're fucking with the wrong one, Antifa. Oh, I love it when they do this. I love when they try to fuck with black people, because black people don't put up with it.
Get the fuck away from our march. We got no fucking use for you. Make me. Get the fuck away. You don't want me to make you. Trust me. Make me. Make me. Make me. Dude, fucking make me. I fucking goddamn dare you to make me. Come on. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You all talk so much shit online. You ain't done shit yet. Do something. Turn that fucking camera off. That camera. No.
You see the fat little Antifa member with his flag trying to block the view? Just circling around like an obese shark, too lazy to go after a half-dead seal. I'm going to block your view. I don't want you to watch Zur swing at Zim.
It's funny how you're hiding behind fucking doxing. It's funny. The only reason you're talking all that shit is because that camera's over there. No. If that camera wasn't there, I'd be knocking your ass the fuck out. Don't worry about the camera. It's just empty shit right now. We don't need you here, motherfuckers. We don't fucking need you here. We don't have any fucking use for you. Get the fuck away from our march. Okay, so... Shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear a fucking word you have to say. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. No. Nobody fucking wants you here.
You know, I should take this and put, what is it? When keeping it real goes wrong? Inches away. The Antifa tranny is inches away from the black dude's face. And you just know it's going to end badly.
Nobody fucking wants you here. I don't give a fuck what you care about. Good. I don't care what you care about. Shut the fuck up. 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 Fuck you. Fuck off.
You see this shit? They always do this. They always try to block the view. If you're going to go encounter Antifa in the streets, buy a drone. They can't block it. You have perfect 360 view. There's nothing they can do about it. You can have the fucking thing hover 50 feet up. They're too soy to actually throw anything that high. And then they can never block anything.
You gonna hit him with a flag too? Let him go. Let him get by.
Oh, here we go. Shit's about to go down. Tranny through a punch. Let's see it again. What a strong punch from Zim. Look at that. That's the look of somebody that knows they have made a big mistake. You know that there's a image macro that goes wrong. It's called the face white people make when they see you walking down the street. It's that look that they get. That is the exact look they've got. That is the exact fucking look they've got. This is the oh shit, I am in some real fucking trouble now look.
The best you got.
Knock it off!
Oh, listen to them. Knock that off. You stop it. Took him right down to the ground. Knock that off. How dare you assault Zim? They didn't do anything except punch you in the face. You need to take it, fascist. Oh, that black dude body tackles this fucking fruitcake and just takes him to the ground.
Knock it off!
Look at this. Look at this motherfucker. Come on, bro. Just let the tranny hit you. What are you doing? You gotta take it, man. Alright, this is modern America. Trannies get to punch you now. That's how things work here. Oh, it's fucking clown world. It's just gonna get crazier. It's not gonna stop. It's never gonna stop. There's gonna be state-mandated dilation stations in your local elementary schools if you give them enough time. You let them lay the groundwork and you're going to see all sorts of crazy fucked up shit. It's just been festering for half a decade. And it's finally just oozed out into mainstream society. And how are they going to fight it? What do you think that Human Rights Commission is going to do? I mean, Yaniv is abusing the system because they know they can abuse the system. They know they can make up dumb shit and get away with it. And if not that person, then somebody else will. They're going to keep pushing it and pushing it until you've got to... How is that even going to work? How is that going to work if you're a gynecologist and somebody comes in and... Are you going to look at their asshole? You're going to call it a boy pussy? You're going to get like a urologist scope to go up their urethra? Like, I can't... The mechanics of it, I guess, confuse me. Bet they're going to make you do it anyway. Oh, what about breast exams? Do those too. I'm worried I've got uterine cancer. Can you stick your eye up my ass and give it a good look? Hey, doctor, I think something's wrong with my pussy. Could you hold my pussy? Oh, sir, that's a penis. Now, I need you to hold my pussy, doctor, and just rub it up and down. You better do it, bigot. You better do it. I'm taking you to the Human Rights Commission. Also, doctor, do you have any kids? I want to take them to the pool later on. You're not invited. Welcome to the modern age. Fucking ridiculous shit. Oh, yeah, I'm excited to see how it turns out. I'm excited to see what crazy shit's going to come up next. Now, what did somebody say earlier? Something about Steve-O. Let's go take a look and see what's going on with Steve-O. What did our boy Steve-O get up to? Let me see here. Actually, I think I might... Oh, what do you know? I think I actually have seen this earlier. Let me grab that. All right, let's go take a look. Did he misgender somebody? Oh, no, I see what he did. Okay. Uh-oh. Steve-O, hey, at CNN. He put a punctuation mark. He wants people to see it. How long has this been up? This has been up for like a day. Now, let's see what the image says, chat. Let's see what Steve-O is tweeting at CNN. Maybe it's interesting. Who knows? Let's take a read. It's a big image. Got to zoom in a little bit. Oh, I see a lot of CNN employees. I believe that's a Star of David. Might be hinting at the fact that they're all Jewish. I'm not 100% certain. I can't test the validity of this image. Wonder what Steve-O was trying to tell them. Lots of Jewish people. Lots of presidents and executives and VPs and CEOs and CFOs. God, it gets so big you ran out of room. Oh, what's this at the very bottom? Let's read this. If Jews represent just 2% of the U.S. population, would it be odd for a media organization whose parent company has a Jewish president, a Jewish majority of C-level executives, to also have a Jewish president, Jewish vice president, Jewish majority of executive vice presidents, lead political anchor, chief political correspondent, chief political analyst, chief political director, chief national correspondent, chief Washington correspondent, all 6 of its chief anchor positions, who are all Jewish, as well as having a majority, at least 13, of the network's currently running shows having Jewish hosts. It's almost as if, but it cuts off there. I don't know. I don't know what the rest of the message was. I'm not sure what Steve-O. I'm not sure what Steve-O was trying to say. Did CNN respond? Did they? Did they respond to lots of retweets and likes? Oh, interesting. What is this? This one's been passed around for a while. This looks like an even bigger version. Even bigger. It's so big you can't even read it. There's so much shit on here. It's CNN and NBC and New York Times. It's a whole lot of people. Because this one goes even bigger. You got CNN, New York Times, Fox, NBC, CBS, and NPR. Well, that's a hell of a lots of text. Can I read this one at the very bottom? About 20% of the U.S. taxpayers funded NPR's personnel are of Jewish descent. As merely 2% of the United States population, why are dual Americans and Israeli Jewish citizens allowed to represent about 1/5 of the U.S. taxpayer subsidized public radio station? I'm not sure what these gentlemen, they're asking questions I don't have the answers to. I'm not sure what Steve-O's going for there. I'm just a dude. Don't know what to tell you, you know? We're just sitting here talking about tranny. Steve-O's throwing out some Jew facts at us. That's been sitting up there for like a day. Lots of people joining in, talking about all the other media organizations. It's weird. I don't know, chat, can you tell me? What do you think Steve-O's message is? Chat, any idea of what Steve-O's trying to impart to the people? I know chat looks very confused too. I think we're all very confused as to what Steve-O's talking about. I see a lot of clasping hands emojis, and I believe those are spinning shekels. Not sure. I need some Blues Clues music to really puzzle this out as we think about it. I think the music will help us, I'll be honest with you. I'll put some Blues Clues music on. Let's see if we can figure this out. A nice soundtrack behind it. Uh-oh, did my favorite Blues Clues remix go away? Oh no, here it is. J-Squad. All right, let's see if we can figure this mystery out, chat. So Steve-O's tweeting out pictures about all these Jews that work at CNN. Huh. Well, let's think about this. So CNN is controlled by a majority of Jews. And then other people are tweeting out pictures of NBC and CBS and Fox and NPR and ABC. And they're all headed up by Jews. But Jews only represent 2% of the population. So how would this many Jews get in control of mainstream media? I don't know, Chad. I gotta put on my thinking cap. You know, maybe it's not a mystery I'm meant to solve. I don't know. Maybe there's more to the equation. We'll have to wait for him to tweet out more. I'm not sure what he's trying to say. It looks like he's just stating facts. I mean, he's put up the people and said, "Hey, they're Jewish," but didn't really say anything definitive after that. I don't know. I'm just so confused. Hopefully, CNN comments and can enlighten us as to what Steve-O perhaps meant by tweeting that picture out. I'm not certain. Not certain, chat. God bless our Chinese lemon emperor. letting us stream over here. Just have to hope we get the full explanation. I'm sorry, that threw me off a little bit. Mysteries like this always throw me off just a tiny bit. I had some momentum going. We're giggling about things going on. What else did I have to talk about? Oh, I know it. I know what else we're going to talk about. Let's pull this up. So Donald Trump recently got in trouble for talking about Representative Cummings' district, saying that Baltimore was basically a rat-infested shithole. And people started telling him he was racist. Oh my God, how could you say that about Baltimore? Baltimore's lovely. Oh, I have vacation in Baltimore. I think Baltimore is just the best place. It's the bestest place ever. How could you say that it was bad? And then it comes out that just maybe 3 years prior, 3 or 4 years prior, I think it was 2015, if I'm being honest with you, Bernie Sanders had a hot take about that exact same area, that exact same district that Trump was saying was a rat-infested shithole. Well, I don't want to misquote our boy Bernie. What did he say exactly? You would think that you were in the third world country. We're talking about a community in which there are hundreds of buildings that are uninhabitable. That's strange. Why would Bernie be agreeing with such a racist? Or even better yet, why would the Baltimore Sun attack President Trump saying that his comments about it being a rat-infested shithole are untrue, when just last year they were writing articles about the rat film documentary about how horrible Baltimore's rodent fight is that was aired on public broadcasting services on PBS. There's such an infestation in Baltimore that they had to do a fucking documentary about how to deal with it. And the Baltimore Sun, the paper that was attacking Trump, calling him a bigot for saying that, wrote an article about it well before Trump ever talked about it. It's very strange. It's very confusing. Even more confusing is I took the time after reading about all this Baltimore stuff to go look up a few things. There's a YouTuber by the name of CharlieBo313 who his whole channel is him driving through the world's shittiest neighborhoods. He'll go to fucking Compton and Detroit and Gary, Indiana, wherever. It doesn't really even matter. If it's a bad neighborhood, he'll drive through it to show you what it's like on the street. So I went to his channel and I was like, well, I wonder if he's got any footage of Baltimore. I wonder, people are saying Baltimore's a hellhole. How bad is it? Would this guy have actually gone there? Turns out he went there like fucking 20 times. It was so bad he went there multiple times. And I've got a little clip to show you. Maybe we'll even go look at some footage just on his channel itself. Because every video, it's nothing but dilapidated buildings falling down, police in the street arresting hookers and drug users, or my personal favorite, I've never really even seen this before, cementing in buildings, where they'll seal up the door with actual cement and then board up all the windows. And that's like every fucking street this guy drove down. That's what it looked like. Let's take a look. Here's just a 30-second clip of him driving through Baltimore, which again, people said Trump was wrong. Baltimore's beautiful. Let's look at the beauty of Baltimore. Well, now that's my picture. That is what I call the picture of serenity. Look at that beautiful cardboard door and window. Oh, cemented indoor, very beautiful, more cardboard. I believe this is a vintage look. It's kind of retro. They light the building on fire to give it a nice kind of charcoal black. It's very beautiful. Pops against the bricks. Pops against that brown. Really eye-catching. They've gone with the we don't actually need windows look. Just burn it a little bit and then take all the windows out, but make sure you get those particle doors in. Particle board everywhere. Got some more beautiful, just match the outside color of the building with more cemented in doorways and windows. We don't, fuck air and sunlight. This is how Baltimore likes to live. If they don't, people in Baltimore have this funny habit. They don't believe in gaining entry to a building at the ground floor. They like to get exercise. That's how they stay fit up there. So they all climb the fire escape to the roof. That's why they burn the roofs down, so they can get into the building. Because they cemented shut the fucking doorways. That's how it's good cardiovascular workout. This entire street, by the way, Every single building, cardboard and cement. So this is the amazing neighborhood that we're all supposed to think is just the bestest. Here's another image of Baltimore. Beautiful, really. You've got the lovely blue and red of the police lights ricocheting off the falling down buildings. They just removed it. Hey, you know what makes this lot look even better? Let's just take half the building. Well, half of this building and like 1 3/4 of this building. Just rip it down. Rip that right down. And then we'll put the police cars out there and just illuminate the daylight. I was also commenting that if you took pictures of Baltimore and put it in a black and white filter, you could probably actually upload that shit onto World War II wikis and say it was footage after a battle, or like the firebombing of Dresden. They'll never know. That's the state that Baltimore's in. Baltimore is falling down so badly. If you looked at this picture, if I put that on a wiki and you didn't know it, you might actually think that's from some European town that was in the middle of a heated battle between the Axis and the Allies. You'd have no way knowing. More serene shots of beautiful cardboard. Really, really accentuates the outsides of those buildings. Oh, even more. I like this. They wanted to be a little more fancy about it, so they just used planks of wood. Like, they wanted to up their game a little bit. Like these guys, cement and particle board. This motherfucker right here, fancy town. I'm going to rip up the floor of a burnt down building. I'm going to seal up another building so nobody can get in and out, except this one window. Because I want to let the person trapped in here see what's going on in the outside world. I think I might move down there myself, really. I think it's time to move to Baltimore. My first couple of picks, really. Here's where I was thinking the best places in the United States to live. Number 1, Detroit, Michigan. Who doesn't want to live in Detroit? Really low property values. I mean, sure, you're going to need a few buckets of water on Halloween, but outside of that, I'd say it's, value for the dollar, really. Dearborn, Michigan. I hear Dearborn, Michigan's a fucking charming little town. Everybody loves it up in Dearborn. Oh, Gary, Indiana. Another great community to live in. And now apparently Baltimore. I got 4 picks. Really, it's hard to decide which one I want to live in most. It's really difficult to final down that decision, to narrow it down, to make sure that I get just the best neighborhood and the best community to be a part of. But these beautiful pictures of Baltimore kind of swaying me to them. Kind of making me think, that's where I want to go. This world and people in it. Fucking crazy time.